from just before Calama, you start seeing the white-capped mountain ranges, and they're all the way until San Pedro de Atacama. Very beautiful. So we just stopped to soak in the beauty. We also on a bit high altitude, so it's a little cold wind, but not very cold. A month ago, this area rained so hard that roads were closed because some of them caved in, and hotels closed, refunded money to tourists, and for almost 3 weeks there was no activity in San Pedro. This is just one of the areas that we've just come across. It's just like maybe 3 or 4 kilometers before the town, and you can see the aftermath of the heavy rains. We're just descending the mountains, so we're basically on a downhill, and down there you see the aftermath of the rains, and if you look further you can see where the floods were. Some patches are whitish, yeah, and the green area, that's now the town of San Pedro, which apparently at the end of Atacama Desert, or almost towards the end of Atacama Desert, is a green town. And on the other side is the white capped mountains. I call them white capped because they all have the snow at the top, like the real white cap sign. So we read so much about Atacama Desert and San Pedro de Atacama, and we were so excited to come to this place. And you know, the way you have built up your expectations, and you're just so looking forward to getting to a place, and that was us. So the first thing when we arrived was we were greeted by spectacular landscapes of, let me say, very unique rock formations. Town that we could see from the top of the mountains at the bottom, and we could see a few, not just a few because it's a small one, we could see the green landscape at the bottom. But when we enter the town, it's an old town. It's Lamu without any tarmac, let me put it that way, or the Mombasa old town without any tarmac. And then all the buildings are built and then painted or finished with a brown soil of the desert. So the town is very much camouflaged in the desert. So that was the first impression. We were like, okay, the roads are sandy and they're not tarmac, so what have we come into? And we got into the city, found ourselves a hostel. Did I call it a city? We got into the town and found ourselves a hostel. And inside the town is this magnificent very small town that has everything. It's full of tourists, so there's so many people around, and I mean, when you walk in the streets, all languages are spoken in this. This is the main street of San Pedro de Atacama, and as you can see, we are a small United Nations. Try as much as possible to speak Swahili on these streets because there is no language that is not spoken in this area. So it's like a small United Nations. And then of course today in the morning we did the walking tour with Tours for Tips. And now this is the second experience that we are doing, which is the Moon Valley. And guys, this is amazing. call a mountain, and just enjoying the views of the Moon Valley. So I'm just gonna turn around the camera and give you the watching sunset at San Pedro de Atacama. This place is so full. It reminds me of Masai Mara during wildebeest migration. And the sunset.
Y como en la wea, no mata ni no viola ni nadie hace nada.
So we're here to see the flamingos, and just like in Kenya, they are an extinct bird. I've counted 5. I don't think you can see any behind us. They're tiny because they're very far, but there are more birds than flamingos. Makes me sad that we lost all the flamingos we had in Kenya, in Lake Nakuru. Anyone knows whether they're still there? And more than 5? This is Chile, in the lagoons. This is sad behind there.
Yeah.
Because you can't take a good picture of the flamingos. They're too far. And they're only 5.
Yeah.
Anyway. Today we're experiencing the very spectacular landscapes of the Andes Mountains. We're actually 4,000 meters high, and yes, true, it feels kind of different, lighthead, sleepy, and the treatment is just lots of water and lots of water. So we've seen some animals, cute animals that we'll put pictures there. They're called
Can't remember, but they're like llamas.
They're like llamas, but they're the original wild ones. Llamas are domesticated. We'll put a name there as well. Camera so that we can show you where we are. Lots of ice-capped mountains, or white-capped like I love calling them, and down there is a lagoon, and also the salt flats at the top of the mountain. Yes, I just wanted to confirm that I'm giving you the correct information. Yes, there are salt flats and a lagoon, and plenty of mountains around us, and this landscape is just spectacular. So let's go.
kidogo altitude sickness here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing serious. Yeah. Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien.
Bien.
Bien. It's our last day in San Pedro de Atacama.
And we are going to look for street food.
It's our last night in San Pedro de Atacama and we are having dinner and the menu doesn't look really interesting to our pockets. But
Chile is a very expensive country.
yeah. But we have good music in the background, actually live performance and the best company. The meat turned out to be really, really good. So that's a salad,